Greetings and felicitations.
Okay, here comes the first round.
Boom. And
Jeez, that was just
boom.
unnecessary.
You kidding me? You can't be out of range? What?
Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. Jarl of the Appian Way here with one of my own replays for once. I had a couple of games against Johnny Rico this week, and we had a lot of fun with these games. Let me go ahead and introduce you to the armies, let you know what this was all about. So we decided for our first battle, a warm-up match. I wanted to play Sphaya. I hadn't touched him in a long time, and he decides he's going to go with the Agamemnon of Mycenae. And, you know, I just kind of stuck to some units that I knew were reliable. I decided not to go with the Renowned Phthian Spears, and I did bring heavy swordsmen instead. Here's 4 of them right here. And then I brought a pair of spear-fighting myrmidons, escorting a pair of armored giant spearmen off of the tree line, and then a pair of Achaean slingers with my fighter vanquisher hero, Achaean slingers, because of course, why not? And then, you know, it's not me if I don't have my 2 heavy chariots. Of course. So they're on top of the hill, looking out over the Mycenaean horde, and let me tell you, Rico really surprised me with his army selections on this day. He brought 4 shielded spearmen, and I went, really? With 8 XP? Really? Are you sure? He brought a pair of Spartoi, he brought 1 reinforced chariot, 2 Agamemnon's companions with 1 XP on each one, and a unit of skirmishers. Just 1 for Johnny Rico. That is very strange that I bring more skirmishers than he does. Agamemnon on foot. Also note, no javelins. There's only 1 ranged attack in his whole army, whereas I'm rocking around here with, oh wait, everybody having ranged attacks other than my hero and my chariots. So let's get into it. Yes, this is a fun map. I kind of knew with this cliff face here that I could be in trouble if my opponent decided to attack me this way, because all he has to do is just single out this group here, and I'd be in a lot of trouble. And so he starts marching forward. He sees that I've got my chariots threatening off on this flank, because I am looking at his chariots. And he goes, you know what? Trees sound good. Let's go check out the trees. So his whole army starts moving out here. They cannot see my forces, but you're going to notice that as soon as I notice this maneuver, I'm going to fall back. I do not want these guys to be stuck here. And, oh man, that was just in time too. So I start threatening over here. I'm falling back over there. But then he changes his mind. He comes out and he's going to face him in the open field, which, you know me, my chariots say, I love that. Let's do exactly this. So I'm actually getting some fantastic javelin shots here into the shielded spearmen. I guess he doesn't mind that, though, because, you know, they are just crappy little shielded spearmen. They're not a phenomenal unit. My slingers are already opening fire and getting some pretty hefty damage done to the Spartoi. And I see that he's got his heavy chariots over here reinforced by a Spartoi, so I fall back trying to separate these 2 a little bit. And that's when he takes the opportunity to go ahead and rear charge my heavy swordsman. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the risk. And yeah, you'll note my first reinforced chariot definitely gets stopped by this Spartoi. My other one, though, is going to get in behind this reinforced chariot. The battle is solidly engaged. I have brought my myrmidons and my giant armored spearmen around the sides, and we're going in now. He's swapped out. It's kind of like a hit retreat in advance of the next line that he's planning with his shielded spearmen, and they're still in this fight, you know, to their credit. And now he's got his Agamemnon's companions all over my heavy swordsmen. So I know I'm going to lose this battle. I'm winning the chariot fight. I've got my chariots through the line. Spartoi are held up by my heavy swordsmen and not chasing my reinforced chariots anymore. But now it's really important that I use my reinforced chariots with as much as possible, and it's also important that I get my other units out here. So I use one of my spearfighting myrmidons to stop that Spartoi on that flank, and I'm going to go ahead and go after these other units over here, rear charging this unit, not a moment too soon either. Like, look at this, my heavy swordsman about to fall apart. And now you can see, here's the big problem with having brought a main line of medium infantry. My chariots are they're having a field day right now. I dragged my chariots all the way through the battle, and coming out the other end of this main line. I really don't care that he's got these Agamemnon's companions in me anymore. It took me forever to realize that my my hero did not activate his divine challenge on Agamemnon, but that was really important to my strategy, is that I brought a hero capable of divine challenging my opponent's hero, because I felt, hey, I'm playing as Sphaya, he's playing as Mycenae, I could just shut down his hero. Well, I neglected to actually shut down his hero. My hero forgot his orders, Now you can see the Spartoi have broken through. They're going after my Achaean slingers, which just kind of has me giggle, but I'm going to go ahead and fall back. Sure, why not? He does get this reinforced chariot back. He charges the rear of my heavy swordsman with the Spartoi. So now it's all up to my Achaean slingers. Can they stop these reinforced chariots? Look at their morale. It's -6. They just need to break. Any second now would be great. They get hung up on my routing heavy swordsman. Thank you. Thank you. Break another chariot. My poor Achaean slingers. They break another chariot, and yet they still get grabbed in combat. And that's going to recover the reinforced chariot's morale as they get into my next Achaean slinger. The rest of the battle happening in the background. I'm kind of forced to gather in on all of this. Agamemnon does defeat my fighter Vanquisher because of all those abilities, but my Myrmidons are now all over the battlefield. And just then, in that moment, we shatter the reinforced chariots. Spartoi are still in this. The Agamemnon's companions are still in this. We're not quite yet at army losses, but he very timely, I think, activated his Aristea on his hero. Get some more uses of blood sacrifice. Try and save his Agamemnon's companions, because my spearfighting Myrmidons are all over them. My chariots are all over this other one. I do have units that are about ready to regroup. We've shattered the chariots now, and I'm using my slingers to continue to peg away at the unshielded Spartoi, and that's when Homer calls it. The Agamemnon's companions trying to heal up a little bit, recover some stamina with that reinvigorate. But as you can see, oh, look at this. The Agamemnon's companions, they do break both of my reinforced chariots, getting both of these guys out of the battle. So it's not over yet, but both of us kind of knew the writing was on the wall. All it takes is for that Aristea to end and for those last few guys to realize that army losses were against them. My Myrmidons are not going to stop fighting, and they're also not going to stop winning. Look at this. My Achaean slingers still getting work done against now the Agamemnon's companions. There is, two Spartoi models in the middle of my slingers, but even my slingers will eventually, like I just displayed there, they will eventually kill the remaining Spartoi. Look at that, Achaean slingers with melee victories against one of the most feared heavy infantry units of the game. And that's it. There you go. That's all she wrote. Our end battle statistics, there's some pretty phenomenal numbers in here. Myrmidon's doing a really good job, not quite paying for themselves, however. My slingers, very proud of both of them paying for themselves almost twice as much. However, you got to look at my reinforced chariots if you want to try and find your MVP of this battle with 1830. And best showing over here for Rico in this very unorthodox for him build, our true MVP is actually going to be Agamemnon's Companions, which earned 3 XP chevrons, 156 kills, 2,057 damage caused as gold value, just crashing into my heavy swordsman line, destroying them, defeating them, taking them off the battlefield. Really, really well done. So while I got the victory, he does get the moral victory of having the MVP of the battle with his Agamemnon's Companions. That's it for this episode. Ta-ta, I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.